Ever since the recent federal reclassification of marijuana, we've gotten a lot of questions from people about marijuana and is it illegal in the state of Tennessee? And yes, it is illegal to have marijuana Delta 9 in the state of Tennessee. The Farm Bill defines it as 0.3% or more THC to make it Delta 9 and illegal in the state of Tennessee. Again, federal law doesn't necessarily preempt state law. State law preempts federal law, meaning that even if federally marijuana becomes legal one day, it is up to the state of Tennessee to pass legislation to make it legal. Otherwise, it is still illegal in the state of Tennessee, even if you're in Georgia or North Carolina or another state that it becomes legal in, or a state that it's currently legal in, and drive through the state of Tennessee. It is still illegal to have it in your vehicle, your house, on your person, which leads us to what are the penalties for having marijuana on your person?
Yeah, so the penalties in Tennessee for marijuana range from misdemeanor all the way through felony. Simple possession of marijuana is any amount less than 14 grams, and that's going to be punishable by an A misdemeanor. 11 months and 29 days is the maximum punishment you can get on an A misdemeanor that can be served in jail, all on probation or anywhere in between. It comes with a mandatory $250 fine. The first level of felony is that greater than 14 grams but under 10 pounds, and that comes with an E felony punishment, 1 to 2 years. The next level is the D felony, and that is a 10 pounds but less than 70 pounds, which is punishable by 2 to 4 years, all the way up to a B felony, which is 70 pounds but less than 300 pounds, and that is going to be punishable by up to 8 to 12 years in custody or any sort of out of custody or anywhere in between. The state still has to prove that what you had is marijuana. Andrew, do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so anybody who is in any way familiar with THC or anything like that, in the last few years, we've heard all the different names come out. You have D8, D9, like Brandon talked about, Delta 10, CBD, THCA, THCP, etc. So what is legal and what is not? So like Dakota was leading there, the officer in the state of Tennessee more so always has the burden of proving that what you had was actually illegal marijuana rather than a legal byproduct or derivative of marijuana. Now, like Brandon was talking about with the Farm Bill, anything under 3% is generally going to be legal. And you can tell it's legal because it is available in every single gas station and every single head shop and anywhere else that sells generic products throughout the state of Tennessee. So it's very important that whether it be for your own protection or whether it be a potential defense, that you know what exactly it is that you purchased, what you got. And Emily, if you kind of want to talk about why is it so important to keep the packaging?
Yeah, so the derivatives that Andrew just talked about in illegal marijuana look identical, they smell identical. Officers cannot tell what is what when they're observing it without testing it. So that's why it's really important that if you legally buy marijuana, you keep it in the commercial packaging. Otherwise, an officer is going to presume it's unlawful marijuana, and they're going to cite you or arrest you for simple possession. With that, you can also legally purchase marijuana in some surrounding states of Tennessee. Just because you bought it legally in another state doesn't make it legal here in Tennessee. It is still illegal no matter how legal that purchase was. Therefore, if you're driving through the state of Tennessee, you need to get rid of that before you get here because you can still be cited for that and be charged with a criminal offense.
Like Emily said, I think it's important, keep it in the packaging if you have it, or keep the packaging in the vehicle. That may prevent you from being cited or arrested. Officers still may cite you or arrest you. They still also need to test it because even someone who thinks that they bought the illegal version of marijuana off the streets doesn't mean that the dealer didn't buy CBD or Delta 8, Delta 10 and sell it as if it's marijuana. I've had a case where I cross-examined an officer and the officer said he knew it was illegal because it wasn't in the packaging. And the law doesn't say it has to be in the packaging. I mean, they still need to test it and prove it beyond a reasonable doubt. So they still need to be able to prove that. And you're just making your job easier and potentially preventing the charge from occurring in the first place, leaving it in the packaging.